Welcome to today's session where we are focusing specifically on the hips, working through a range of mobility, both internal and external rotation. We're going to start lying on our backs. Knees can be bent. Bring the hands down by your side, just resting on the floor. Let the weight of the body rest into the mat. Notice the areas of the body that are in contact with the floor. And next, bring your awareness to the steady flow of your breath. And breathing in, feeling the belly rise. And breathing out, feeling the belly fall. Seeing if you can access a deeper breath, feeling the expansion of the breath move up into the rib cage. The sides of the ribs expand, and back of the ribs expand. And if the eyes are closed, let the eyes open. And simply begin to tuck and tilt the pelvis. So the hips and the glutes stay on the mat. You're just increasing the curve in the lumbar spine and then decreasing and flattening the spine out. Finding that posterior pelvic tilt as you tuck under, flattening the back. And anterior pelvic tilt as you increase the curve in the lumbar spine. This time, as you find posterior pelvic tilt, back pressing into mat, push through soles of feet, squeeze glutes, lengthen thigh bones away from you as the hips lift up towards the ceiling. Now as you roll down, try and roll down through the top of the back and the shoulder blades, then through the middle of the back, keeping the lumbar spine and the glutes off for as long as possible before rolling all the way down to the base of your spine. And we're going to roll off in the same way. So find that posterior pelvic tilt, begin to lift base of spine, lumbar spine, middle of the back, upper back, pressing right up onto the shoulder blades. Engagement through inner thighs. Equal pressure between big toes, little toes, and heels. We're going to roll it down. Noticing where it's more challenging for you to find a segmental roll down. Good. Pause at the bottom. Lengthen your left leg away from you, toes facing ceiling. Push through right foot, lift up into a single leg bridge. Just lifting straight up to start. Once you're all the way up, begin to segmentally roll down through the spine as best you can. Much more challenging on a single leg. Can you lift back up, rolling through the spine little by little? Roll it down. Good, so really nice. Leave that left leg down. Draw the right thigh in towards you, just using the strength of the leg. And then lengthen the foot away and lead with the heel, lower the leg. Lift the leg up, toes lift, bend knee, draw it in. Externally rotate the knee, so turn the knee away from you, heel in, and then turn the knee in, heel out. Come back to neutral, lengthen the leg away, pushing through sole of foot, heel to floor. We're going to do that again. Lift up, draw the knee in towards you, externally rotate, knee out, heel in, opposite way, knee in, heel out, back to neutral, press through sole of foot and draw the heel down to the mat. Left foot, slide it up, bring that foot onto the mat. Lifting up in one smooth movement as you rise into your single leg bridge. Just notice where the body is working here to hold you in that position. Try and roll down through the spine. When you're ready, rolling up, can you work into that segmental roll? And down. Good, draw that left knee in towards you. Squeeze it in just with the strength of the leg. Push the sole of the foot away, lengthen the leg, heel comes down. Inhale, toes lift, knee draws in. Externally rotate, knee out, heel in, then knee in and heel out. Back to neutral, lengthen the leg and draw it down. Second round, lift up, knee to chest, external rotation, internal, neutral, lengthen and lower, two legs down. Slide the right leg in towards you. Squeeze that leg in and then slide the left foot onto the mat, knee facing ceiling. External rotation of right knee. Tap that right ankle to the top of the left thigh. Lift it off, bring the knee back to neutral, so knee and hip in line. External rotation and then tap. Neutral. Last time, external rotation, tap. This time we're going to hold it here. Let that right knee externally rotate as much as you can. Lift the left thigh towards you and squeeze both legs in towards the belly, just using the strength of the legs. Going to tap left foot down. Bring it back up. Find a nice smooth rhythm of breath as you move through this lift and lower. The next time you squeeze the legs in, we're going to hold it here. Squeeze in as tight as you can for 10, 9. Keep externally rotating through that bent knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let that leg land down. 2 feet land on the mat side by side. Good. Left leg. Squeeze that knee in towards you. Externally rotate that left knee. Tap left ankle to right thigh. Lift it up. Back to neutral. Rotate. Tap. Neutral. Rotate. Tap. Squeeze it in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then tap to the floor. Next time you lift it in will be our hold. Draw that right thigh towards you. Squeeze left knee away and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep rotating. 2, 1. Bring that foot down. Release both feet to the mat. Take a breath here. We're going to rock and roll all the way up to seated. Make your way over onto hands and knees. Press down firmly through the shin bones, palms and heel of hands. We're going to lift the fingers and thumbs up in towards you, trying to keep the arms straight and then tap them down. Lift, trying to increase the creases in the back of the wrists. Lift up for 10, tapping for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. And then lift the heel of the hands up, keeping the fingers down and lowering down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Walk the arms forwards, bring the forearms down onto the mat. Working the elbows roughly under the shoulders, you can bring the knees a little bit behind the hips here, hip width apart. I want you to take a slight tucking of the base of the spine under, so your posterior pelvic tilt here. Imagine there's a block between your elbows and you're just squeezing that block. And then we're going to find protraction of the shoulder blades here. So imagine there's a pencil on or in between the shoulders. You're going to push that pencil up to the ceiling and then try and squeeze the pencil between the shoulder blades. Pushing it up and away, you'll feel the shoulders expand and round. And then pinching the pencil, shoulder blades drawing together. Protract, pushing up, retract down. All the while, pelvis stays neutral. This movement is isolated in that space between the shoulder blades. Last protract, lift up, press, press, press. Good, and retract. Come back to neutral. Come into your tabletop position. We're going to work into some hip rotation here. Taking the right leg first, I want you to lift the knee and squeeze your heel in towards your buttock. Knee is roughly pointing down towards the floor. Then you're going to draw that knee in towards the back of the elbow for flexion. Take that shin bone out to the side for abduction. Turn the thigh bone down to the floor, lifting knee up towards the ceiling for extension. And then come back to neutral. Try and keep the rest of the body completely still. We'll go through extension, taking the leg back, squeeze heel to butt. Out to side for abduction, and then round to flexion. Back to neutral. Release that knee. Reset through your 4-point position. Lift the opposite leg up. Knee towards the floor. Heel squeezing in. You can either flex or point the toes, it's your choice. Coming through flexion, bring that leg in towards you. Out to the side for abduction. Then circle the leg round until your thigh bone is facing the floor, lifting the knee up for extension. Back through neutral. Extension, abduction, and flexion. Back through neutral and release. Keep the hands where they are and step your right leg forwards, finding your 90-90 lunge here. Hands come up on the front thigh. Working into a little posterior pelvic tilt and anterior pelvic tilt. Keeping the rest of the body still. Just tucking and tilting, that same feeling we had when we were lying on the mat. Posterior pelvic tilt, find it, maintain it. Left hand comes across the front knee. Right arm sweeps behind you. Push the back of the hand behind and across to the back left corner of the mat. Softly squeeze shoulder blade down towards the hips. Good. Look forwards, reach the arms up. And then bring the arms down in line with the shoulders. Turn the palms down towards the mat. Keeping the arms still, just externally rotate the hands away from each other. Then internally rotate them towards each other. So it's going to look like this. External, internal. External, internal. One last external rotation of the wrists. Internal. Wrap the fingers to the palms, thumbs on top. Drive the knuckles down towards the floor. Turn the fingertips up to the ceiling. Press, make stop signs, increase the wrinkles in the wrists. You're going to scissor the front foot out to a 45-degree angle, turning both the knee and the toes out. Turn your body to face that bent leg. And then turn the heel of the hands up, fingers down, thumbs away from each other. Press the heel of the hands forwards, tuck the chin to chest. Find that protraction of the shoulder blades. Holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hands, bring them to the hips. Take your front leg right out to the side of your mat. So let me show you on the other side. You're going to have your foot roughly in line with your bent leg knee. Bring the hands up to the back of the head. Good. From here, we're going to take a side bend over to your outstretched leg, trying to keep the bottom ribs tucked down to the hip bone. As you lift up, use strong core muscles to lift away, away, away as you side bend away from the outstretched leg. Lots of length. Come up and back through the start side. Good. One more either side. As you side bend away from your outstretched leg, reach, reach, reach. We're going to hold it here for 5, 4, posterior pelvic tilt for 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring your hands down onto the mat. Step back to plank position. Good. Find that protraction of shoulder blades here and then retraction. And again, don't let the head sink. Keep the head and neck in line. And then push back to a downward facing dog. Hips lift high. And there's no particular goal of getting the heels down here. Rather think about drawing the very top of the foot back towards the ankle creases. Actively push the mat away. Imagine there were wrinkles on your mat and you were trying to push the wrinkles out of the mat. We're going to come to our hip cars again here. So working with your right leg first, lift the leg, bend the heel in towards you, draw that knee in towards you for flexion, out to the side for abduction, circle it round, lift for extension. Come back to neutral. Extension, abduction, flexion, neutral. Lower that leg all the way back down. Take a breath here. Okay, go ahead and step your left leg forwards, lowering the back knee. Hands to hips. Setting up for 90-90. Front knee, 90-degree angle, same in the back, hip and knee. And we're coming back through those little tuck and tilts here. So posterior pelvic tilt as we tuck under, anterior pelvic tilt as we lift. Good. Find your posterior pelvic tilt and maintain. Right hand comes to the outside of that left knee. Opposite arm reaches up and back. Lengthen through that arm bone. Shoulder blade squeezes down. Can you get a slight feeling of front heel, back knee cinching in towards each other? More contraction in low body. Look forwards, raise the arms. Exhale, bring the hands down to shoulder height. Turn the palms down to the floor. Externally rotate the hands away from each other. Internally rotate them. Moving side to side. So we did this little piece of work earlier. Good. Next time the hands come in, wrap, thumbs on top, drive those knuckles down to the mat. Make stop signs, increase the creases in the wrist as you spread fingers and thumbs really wide. Take your front foot, walk it out. 45-degree angle with the foot, so turn that foot out. Turn your ribs to face that left knee. Heel of the hands up, fingertips down, thumbs away from each other. Push the hands forwards. Protract shoulder blades, draw chin to chest. Hold it here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Release the hands, bring them to the hips. Good. We're going to take the left leg out to the side, bringing the hands to the back of the head. Coming into our lateral flexion, so elbows, reach them wide and away from each other. Side bend over to that left leg. Use strong core muscles to bring you up, then lengthen away, away, away. Side bend any amount, strong work. Rise to center. Can you maintain posterior pelvic tilt as you move through this lateral flexion? Last round here. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise up. Turn round. Plant the hands. Step back to your plank position. Push through the heels. Push through the hands. Collarbones lengthen forwards. Protract shoulder blades and retract. Go again. Head in line with neck. Last round. Find protraction. Push back. Downward facing dog. Come back to that sense of the top of the foot pulling back towards the ankle creases. Push the wrinkles from your mat. I'm going to come into our hip cars on the opposite side, so those hip rotations. Lift your left leg up this time, bend the knee. Draw that knee in towards you, flexion. Out to the side for abduction. Try and keep everything else level as you roll it round. Lift that heel, the knee up for extension. Neutral. Extension, abduction, flexion, neutral. Lower that leg all the way down. Walk your hands back to your feet. And take a little moment here in a bent knee forward fold. Head relaxes. Bend the right knee, lengthen through the left leg. Right hand stays on the floor, left thumb to left thigh crease. Turn the ribs away from the floor as you increase the bend in the right knee and try to lengthen that leg some more. Left arm could reach up and you could begin to lift your gaze to the top hand. Release. Left hand comes down to the mat. Left knee bends, right leg lengthens. Right thumb to right thigh crease. Turn right ribs up to the ceiling. Options to take the right arm up. Release. Roll up to stand. Bring the hands to the back of the head. Stand so that you are comfortable, feet at least hip width apart. Press down through base of big toes, little toes and heels. Take a side bend, leading with the left elbow over to the left side. And once you've gone as far as you can go, start to draw the elbows towards each other, rolling down, chin towards chest for flexion. Roll over to the right, opening the elbows wide, coming into lateral flexion on the right side. Come up to center. Side bend, lateral flexion to the right, leading with right elbow. As you roll forwards, elbows curl towards each other, chin to chest. Roll over to the left, elbows widen, lateral flexion on the left. Come up to center. Left elbow leads, round it out. Right elbow leads, center. One last round. Right elbow down. Roll it round, elbows towards each other, chin to chest. Roll over to the left, elbows open wide, side flexion, all the way up to center. Release the arms. Bring the hands to hips, press firmly through base of left foot. Lift the right knee up in towards you. Press the sole of the foot away, lifting the leg any amount, 2 straight legs. Bring that knee up in towards you, lift it high. Externally rotate that right knee down and out, lift the left heel, the same heel up. Turn the knee down and in, lift the heel up. Go again. Heel out and then knee in. Working through external rotation and internal rotation. One more. Back to neutral. Lengthen that foot and set the leg down. Coming to the opposite side. Press through base of right big toe, little toe, heel. Left knee lifts. Leg lengthens. 2 straight legs. Really push through your standing legs. Sole of lifted leg. Draw the knee up and in. Turn the knee out. Lift the heel up. Knee drops in. Heel lifts out. Side to side. Bring the knee up. Wrap and squeeze. And draw both knees in. We're going to set the legs down on the floor, feet wider than the mat. Knees roll in towards one another and find a posterior pelvic tilt here. Hands come down onto the belly, eyes close. Following the breath with the mind as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Counting 3 more breaths. And rolling on to your side. Making your way back up to seated. Coming to a cross-legged seat and noticing how the hips feel to be in this pose after your practice. Bring the hands to meet. Thank you for choosing to practice. Namaste.